Okay, great. Okay, everyone. Good morning. Hope you guys are well on this Tuesday morning. Thank you for tuning in. I see some of the students are already in the chat. Oscar, great. Thank you for joining, all the way from Queens, I think. And I don't see Felisa yet. I'm not sure I don't know if Johnny and Jaden are you. Oh, yay! Hi, Felisa. Good morning. Um, Let me see here. And I think we might be missing like maybe Lorenzo and just a few other students. But in any case, we'll slowly get started, and if the other students join us a few minutes late, that's okay. We won't go too fast. All right. What?
Your audio sounds a little messed up.
Okay. So yesterday, just to recap, we did the doodle pen, and if you guys did some really cool artwork with it, please text me your artwork. I got some great work from Felisa. She did all sorts of cool abstract art and some cool squiggles. So I really loved seeing her artwork. So please, you guys, if you have any artwork, have your parents or just snap a picture and text it to me, and I will try to like post it maybe on some of our social media. And I hope that wasn't too hard. Yeah, if I went too fast or if it was a little too tricky, leave me a little note in the chat room so that I'm aware as we build today's robot. Okay, so doodle pen, we're done with you. And on to the spin bot. Okay, so let's go over some of the basic stuff you'll need for today. Okay, for today, you'll need your box of materials or your Lego supplies. You'll need your large motor. This is not the motor you used yesterday. This is a little bit larger and it's a little bit more powerful. Okay, what else do we need? Of course, you'll need your cable. You'll need your controller, a little mini computer. And then for the art component.
Can we pause for just a moment? Sorry.
Yeah. We have some small, hold on just a sec. Small audio issue. Okay, great. We good?
Can you say
Oh,
something?
yeah. Okay, how's this? Sound check, sound check. 1, 2, 3. All right, how's the, all right, so we're just double checking some sound issues. In the meantime, Ishal, do you want to say good morning? Good morning, can you wave? Hi. What do you have with you today? Oscar and a Lego. Yay. Maybe very soon, Ishal, you'll be building robots with mommy. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Yes. No,
Oh, sorry.
I don't know why it's all scratchy. It's too annoying to use. It might be because
Okay.
apologize if it sounds scratchy. Your voice sounds really like
Oh, okay. So
talking.
we're sorry if, Oscar says he can hear fine. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. If at any point it gets too scratchy, let me know. We're trying to fix that. But anyway, bye, Charlie. So I apologize if the sound is a little off. I'm gonna do my best here to make sure it comes off clear. But again, feel free to leave a note in the chat if you can't hear me at all. Okay, so where were we? Okay, for the art supplies that you need today. You can use a paper plate, a small paper plate, or you could also, I'm trying to think. You could use like a regular, you can use a regular piece of paper, and you're gonna have to fold it up just a teeny bit. And I can show you how to do that later. But for the students who received my little bag, like the students who I delivered a bag to, you should already have your paper plate in there. What you need from home is a marker. Or if you have a few different colored markers, grab that, okay? We'll need that to do our cool spin art. So I'm going to say, I feel like spin art was a big thing back in the 80s and the 90s, and like people had like shops, like you could go to the beach and there'd be like these little shops where you could do like paint spin art and t-shirts and all sorts of artwork. So I feel like that's an art form that's been lost, but we're going to bring it back because I guess like 80s and 90s is back in. So, all right, so let's get started, everyone. It's 10:06. Let's start building the robot. Let's go with, as always, our bill of materials. Let me go ahead and point out some, oops, sorry. Okay. So, Ela, can you help Daddy find Big Bird, maybe? Or not, I don't know. All right, so I'm going to zoom in just a smidge. There you go. Okay, so bill of materials for today, we have quite a few pieces. Let's go ahead and start off with this side of our bill of materials. I have my motor. Oh, and going back to Oscar's question, can you use a piece of paper? Yes. Instead of your paper plate? Yes, you may. All right, I have my rubber band. Boom. You need 2 frame beams. So here are my frame beams. 2 L-shape beams. Okay. All right. There's that. Okay, so then let's go to the next category. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. The importance of axles. You know, axles can be found in like what connects the wheels of a car. It helps rotate, say for example, gears, wheels. I'm trying to think. If in this case we're going to be using the cross ends with, I believe, let me see. Oh yeah, we are going to be using it with this rim. So I guess I'll jump to that, which looks like a wheel. So here in the center, you'll see that the opening is like a shape of a X. Well, that's perfect for our axles, and that will eventually turn the wheel once the axles are rotating. So let's go ahead and let's go back to the axle. So we have our long studded axle, okay? In your box, you should have 2 studded axles. There's a short one and a long one. So you can just take a quick peek. They're the darker ones, and they have like the little flat head on the top. Let me bring that up closer so you can see. There you go. So it's like a nail that you would hammer. All right. The next axles you need are 3 of the larger ones. They're about almost the same size. So please be careful with that because yesterday's robot required 2 of the smaller pieces. So make sure you grab the right light gray axles, and they're just a hair shy of being shorter than your long studded one. Okay, so we've got 3, and then we got our long one. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, and then I see the short studded axle, so I guess we are going to need that after all. So there's short, and there's that's it for my axles. So I'll put those off to the side. I have everything that I need there. Let me move this. I'll move the pieces over so that they're in the view in just a moment. Okay. let's see here. Okay, so now we have some more interesting parts here. Let me zoom in real quick. All right, so in this category, these are little connectors. And so we'll start off with our pegs, PEG, that is. So these are kind of like our, actually they kind of serve as nails. They will keep two beams or two pieces together, depending on the color that you have. Oscar made a very good point yesterday. When you're working with these black ones, they have little bumps. If you look closely, you'll see that they've got little bumps along the side there, and that will create friction, which means that it won't allow the other pieces to move around freely. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. I think it's easier if I just pour them in my hands. Ah! We got a live one. Okay. Let's make sure I have all 6. All right. So 1, oopsies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Alrighty. There's my 6. I'll put it off to the side. Okay. Now I want to go to the blue category, the blue pegs. The first 2 are long. Remember, there's a short and a long side to these. Just want to remind you of that because you'll need to know that as we build in the coming steps. So there's my 2 long, and then we have our special pegs, which is half axle and then half peg. So that's 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Cool. Alrighty. Almost there. The next category are these really fun, they're like squishy rubbery bits, and we're going to use this for some traction. This is going to hold our paper together. So that's 1, 2, 3 of these little rubber, they look like figure 8s. Don't chew them, they don't taste good. And it's not sanitary. So I've got 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's move those off to the side. Anytime you're building with something with like a little bit of traction, whether it be rubber or like material, it's important to know the role that it can play when you're building robots. Like if you need something to like move across a floor, you're going to need to have some type of treads or tracks or something that has traction. And that's what we've done here. All right. Moving on to the special connectors. We have these 3 black straight barrel special connectors. So let's go ahead and get those out. 1, 2, and 3. And they have a little hole right in the middle. Okay. All right. And put those off to the side. And then finally, oh, nope, I have other special connectors, but I'm going to continue here. I've got these 1, 2, 3 black special connectors at the bottom. Let's get that out. 1, 2, 3. Eyes on me. All right. Now, you'll see that they've got a little circle at the end there, the circle opening. I'll show you how we're going to use that later, but we'll go ahead and put the special connector over there. And then the last category, we have some bushings and then some other special connectors. So let's go ahead and start off with our bushings. So these are these small gray pieces. This is what cinches everything together. It holds pieces in place. It's got an axle opening. All right. Then we have this cool, what looks like a ninja star. We'll use that. Okay. And then we'll have the barrel. All right. Cool. Sorry, I'm a little bit, I'm slower today. I just wanted to make sure that I'm setting this up in a way that if you went ahead of me, great. Maybe we'll catch up to you. But I also wanted to describe why the pieces are the way they are, because it's important to know when you're building with this kind of these kinds of materials. Like the design is key to understanding how you can design, how you can build different robots. Okay, so let me zoom out now. Oops. Okay, so we've got all of our materials out, organized, we're good. If you're missing anything, let me know in the chat room, and I can tell you how we can modify it. But for now, let's jump to step 1. All right, remember from yesterday, I explained the way I create the guides is the first picture is all of the pieces that you need. The second picture is really showing you how those pieces get connected to the others. So in this case, we're going to insert or snap in our black pegs on both sides of our frame beams, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to move this out just a teeny bit so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. And just a quick check-in, everyone. How are we doing so far? Let me know in the chat room, either thumbs up or a dab, like Jonathan Sanchez. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug in our pegs. Building a sound structure, by the way, usually requires a couple different points, fixed points. It's never just like, here, I'm going to plug something in and then it sticks, it'll hold. For me, I generally, when I need something not to move at all, I have to make sure I add several points where those pieces can get connected without moving, jiggling, wiggling in any shape or form. All right, so here is my last peg. Cool? Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, so let's move on. That's step 1. I'm going to move this over here. We're done with that. Step 2. I have here, this is very hard to tell, so I'm going to walk you through what it should look like. You're going to need, as in the picture, as indicated in the picture, your axle, which I've got. You're going to need one of those rubber figure 8s, which is that. You'll need one of the special connectors that has the hole in the middle there. Okay? And then one blue peg. All right? So the way we're going to build this, we basically have to build 3 of the same thing. So I'm going to show you how we do that. The first thing is you take your axle. You're going to take your black connector, the one that has the hole at the end, like that. I'm going to zoom in so you can kind of see. Oh, my nose is so itchy. I think that means like either someone's thinking of you or saying something about you. I don't know what. Anyway, okay, so I have my axle and my special connector. I'm going to snap that in, boop, like that. All right, pretty cool. The next thing I'm going to do is take my blue peg, and I'm going to use the round side of my blue peg and snap that in. Like that. All right, so here's the profile. That's what it should look like. All right, and then finally, let's take the rubber bit. I'm just going to slide it on top like so. All right. Not so bad, right, guys? Okay, so why don't we go ahead and let's do that 2 more times because we need a set of 3. We're going to go with an axle, 1 rubber bit, 1 special connector, and 1 of these blue pegs. Okay. So let's go ahead and snap that in. And blue goes in here. All right, goes in there. Okay, looks good. Let's go ahead and do our last one. Axle, special connector, rubber piece, and my blue. We're gonna go like this. All right. And then we're gonna go like this. Blue round goes in, and there we go. Okay, everyone. Pretty cool. So now we have our 3 pieces, yeah? Okay. I'm gonna move those off to the side. How are we doing? That's step 2. We're done with step 2. Let me see. My friends, leave me a note. I'd love to know how you're doing. Are we doing okay here? I want to give you guys a second to catch up in case I went too fast or there was a mistake that was made. Leave me a note in the chat room, and that way I'll feel a lot better about how you're doing. Alrighty. Okay, cool. Oscar, says here you're looking good. Great. Felisa, and I think this is Johnny. Yeah. You guys all right? Okay. So now let's jump down to step 3. Okay. So we want our motor, 2 long blue pegs, and our 2 L-shaped beams. So let's get that out. Motor, 2 L-shaped beams, my 2 of these. Okay, good. So I'm going to flip this on its front, I guess. I don't know. And then I'm going to, remember we talked about the different sides of the blue peg. So let's go ahead and thread the long side through this top hole here, basically the ends. So we're going to go boom. Oh, there. That might be a little hard to do. If you have little hands, maybe get a parent to kind of help you with that. It can definitely be a little tricky. Oh, sorry guys. It looks like I froze for a moment. Okay, are we good? Ooh, I hope so. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take my other L-shaped beam, and oopsies, sorry, this way. I think I'm gonna slide it. So this is what it looks like from the side. Droop, droop. All right, we good? Okay, everyone, let's go ahead and put that one off to the side. And let's jump to step 4. So here we've got 3 special connectors and that like ninja star axle that I was telling you about, right? So let's go ahead and get those pieces out, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use that. So here I have the 3 points. I'm going to go ahead and take one of the barrel special connectors and just simply slide on one end. Going to slide again here, and then finally here. Okay, so what we've done here is we're extending the arms or the points of these stars, and I will show you why we do that in just a moment. We're very close to being done, everyone. So we're going to need this for the next step, but I'll bring it back in just a moment. Let's jump to step 5. Here we need the long studded axle. Okay, we've got that. We need the barrel, and we need this this bushing. So go ahead and take those pieces out, and now let's figure out. If you look carefully at the next picture, you're going to see how all of that is connected. We are going to use the star that we just created. We're going to thread the studded axle through, and then we'll have a barrel and then the bushing to keep it nicely tight and basically just fixed in place. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take our long axle, slide it in the middle. You see those the way it's shaped. You know, this really quickly, this reminds me of the shape sorting toys that like little kids have. Like my daughter has these shape sorting ones, and so if you follow your gut when it comes to building and look at the shapes, that really helps you become a pretty good builder. So keep that in mind. Okay, so here we have our barrel. Slide that in, and then we have our bushing. Let's go ahead and slide that in too. Okay, look at that. Whoa, pretty cool. Okay, let's continue. Step 6. We have our completed kind of like this ninja star, but now it's a little bit longer, has like a trunk to it. And now we need a bushing. And the reason why we're going to do that, or why we need that, is because we're going to thread it through the top of our motor, that very, very first hole of the L-shaped beams. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. But notice here, this is where you should try to trace where is that piece going. That is going to be sandwiched in between those L-shaped beams. So let's look at that in our real model here. So I've got my L-shaped beam. We're going to be threading it through the very first, or the top hole. But before I do that, I got to grab my bushing. Let me do it sideways. Maybe that will help you see. So I'm just going to hold it with my fingers, slide it so it is level with the first hole. And then you're going to just so gently slide in, slide in, slide in, boom. Okay? That's what it should look like. All right, guys, you're doing great. We only have like 2 more steps. So let me move this out of the way so we can talk about the next steps. So here we have step 9. We're actually building the foundation or the base off of the controller. That is what will hold onto our motor that we just built. And once we're done with that, we will add the other components so that it can okay. Then we'll add the other components to make this spin. So that's really the biggest goal that we have today. We're doing a spin art robot. This is where the magic happens. And I'm going to show you how we're transferring the motion and the power from here, from the motor, all the way over here. And to make it go smooth, right? You don't want it choppy if we're going to be doing spin art. So let's go here. Let's go back here. Oh, sorry. Grab your controller, everybody. You don't have to turn it on right now. We're just going to build off of it for the time being. What you're going to want to do is take your frame beams now, and you want just the side with the single peg sticking out. You're gonna just plug it into the side of your controller. So we're gonna, if you see the shapes of the openings on the side of your controller, you'll see that it's kind of in the shape of a upside down L. So what we're gonna do is just focus on the first opening here and here. Okay? So slide that in like this. Boom. Yeah. Slide this in like, oops, the other way. Boom. You know, guys, I'm going to just quickly say something about this. If I had to redesign this, I would probably move it back here and add more pegs so that it stays nice and stable. You know, as a designer, as a very, I guess like a amateur designer, I often have to build, like if I do one design, that's usually not the design that I stick with. It has to go through many, many iterations. And that just means many different versions of the design. So keep that in mind. You know, one of the things that I see kids do is like they'll be like, oh, this is lame, like this robot doesn't do a whole lot. But you have to understand, if you really look closely at the different mechanisms, this is the building blocks that will help you build bigger and better. So keep that in mind. You don't just, you know, become a master at something overnight, right? You have to start with baby steps. And I feel like that definitely in volleyball, for example, for my friend Justin and Jaden and Johnny. We all know that we have to start with baby steps. We can't just become these like superstar volleyball players overnight. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to plug this in here. Ready? Elo, do you have an example of what it means to be good at something, but having to take it like baby steps, like one step at a time? What about like reading? Like you can't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to be a great reader. Oops, sorry guys. I'm going to line this up now over here. There we go. Oh. Sorry guys, that got a little tricky for a moment there. Okay, so let me see, did I do that correctly? Okay, good. So this, I think this looks probably a little tricky. What I had to do is I had to slide the motor into the frame beams. So give yourself some time to line it up and then squeeze, make sure it's nice and stable, because yeah, you can't really move that out. Like it's not going to go anywhere. It's I think it's pretty stable as is. So okay, let's move on. Okay, so now we need to do this next step. Wait, did I miss? Oh, I did miss a step earlier, everyone. Back in step 7, oh, so sorry. I forgot to take my wheel and my axle and thread it through. So go ahead and let's do that real quick. Okay. And now I'm going to, wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and slide it in the middle of our motor. So let's go ahead and do that. Boop. All right. I'm going to go ahead and suggest that you don't push it all the way down so that it's up against the motor. What will happen is that it's going to rub against it, creating a slower motion, and there will be some friction there. We don't want that. We want a smooth movement. And really what we're trying to do, I'm going to point something out here. Look at how this is lined up. Sorry. Here's our little rim of the wheel, and straight across from it is the bushing. That is what we're going to be using to transfer motion from here to there. Question is, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to use this little guy, a simple rubber band. So when you gently place that rubber band around the bushing and into the groove of your wheel, there's tension there. So I'm gonna show you and demonstrate in just a sec. This is important though. I want to point out that when you wrap your rubber band around the rim, make sure that it sits nice into the groove. Let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna bring it closer to you guys. Like right there. If it's sitting out or if it's all twisted, it's not going to do what you need it to do. So that's what it should look like. And, sorry. There we go. Okay. All right, everyone. So here's what I'm going to do. See what happens when you turn, when you turn this little guy. Just use your fingers and gently turn. That is transferring motion through the rubber band and making this twist. And what you're going to see is a really smooth and a fluid rotation. So let's finish this up, yeah? Let's put our finishing pieces on. I want you to slide these in each of the openings of our little star. Make sure that the rubber piece is facing up because that's how we're going to fit our little plate. So there's one. And real quickly, Oscar, that's awesome. Oscar just finished the robot and he is programming it. So great job, Oscar. Okay, my friends, let me zoom out. Oops, that's not out. There we go. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So let's go ahead. Let's wire up. Let's test our engineering. Make sure we got everything correct. To do that, you need your cable. Let's go ahead and hopefully you guys have small fingers. We need to plug in one side of our cable to the motor. So there's our motor. The other end needs to go into A, and this is what I showed you guys yesterday. So there's, whoa, A, B, C, D. We want to go with A. So grab that cable and plug it in. All right, good. Let's lay it back down on its side. Oh, yes, and Oscar, I'm glad you used this shorter cable. This is much too long, but it worked yesterday for our doodle pen, so that's why I had the longer one already packed in there. Okay, let's go ahead and load the plate. No, actually, let's not do that. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a quick review of how we power on and use motor control on the device here. So let's power on, press enter, middle button, hold for 3 seconds, let go. Oh, my nose is so itchy today. Okay. You wake up. Okay, great. So I hope you can see that at home. I have my 4 tabs at the top, my drop-down menu. Remember, we don't need anything in that first tab. This is basically all the programs that people have run in that had the controller before you. We don't need to pay any attention to that. What I want you to do is you're going to press your right keypad or your right button on the keypad until you're under the 6 circles, that tab with 6 circles. So that's 1, 2. Okay, great. I get a little bit closer. Ugh. All right, so what we're going for is motor control, that second option. Scroll down. Okay, it should be dark, and then you're going to press enter. That little map is what we're hoping, or what we're looking for. We're going to follow the map. It says here that the A, whatever is plugged into the A port can be controlled with that top keypad button. So this is what it should look like when you test. Remember, we're just using motor control, no programming today. So press that top button, and you should have this really cool, almost like drone-like fan going on. Yeah? Great. If that doesn't work, check your cables. That's often the first thing that people do. If by chance the your screen says B and C, press the enter button, and that will put you right back to where you need to be. Okay? All right, everyone. Here we go. It's time to do some art. Take your paper plate, and you could flip it so it's kind of face down. You're gonna go like this, like this, like this. So you're just tucking it in between the rubber piece and the special connector. Okay, So now it's time for our marker. Ela, would you like to help me? Real, are you sure you want to help me? Come. All right. Pick out a marker. Any color you want. Rápido, rápido. All right. Elo is gone with the turquoise. You're going to hold on to this.
I mostly like turquoise color.
You like turquoise? Okay, I'm going to press the button. You are going to start in the center. You're going to go like this. Wait. Let me show you with the other side. So as it goes, it's going to start spinning. You're going to gently touch the center and then pull back. Okay?
Oh,
I'm going to fix this so it's a little bit more leveled. Okay, you ready? 1. Oops. 2. Wait. All right, now go gently in the center. Slow. Again. Nice. You can do it again. Maybe
Whoa.
go ahead and start back in the center. Oh, gentle. If you're going to notice that if you put too much pressure on your marker, it will slow down the speed. So you want to have a nice feather effect to it. Yay!
Wow.
Let's try a different color.
Awesome. My extra color I love most is not the extra, please.
All right. Well, we're going to do all sorts of colors, so grab a color.
Oh, yeah.
That's purple.
Oh.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and do an overlap color with this navy blue. So I'm going right into the center. You're getting sleepy. I'm going to hypnotize you guys with my...
Oh, I think that's good, Mom.
All right.
Oh,
What's another color
it
we
looks
can
like,
use?
well, you have to aim. Wait,
Let's
let
do...
me,
I'd say maybe a dark color, like a dark orange or pink. All right, let's do that. Go ahead. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Start in the center, gentle. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's too much pressure. Doesn't this feel really relaxing, everyone? That, or maybe I really am hypnotizing you. You will read more this year and help your mom with the dishes. And you will clean your room.
I think. I'm making gray bluish color.
Awesome, everybody. Great.
Wow.
So that is an example of some fun spin art. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you another thing that we could do with some spin art.
Keep doing that some more.
So you can flip it around and use this side if you want. I do have another piece or another paper plate that I think I'll go ahead and load. Guys, and just a friendly reminder, please text me your cool pictures, your artwork. Kazazi, let me quickly give you my number here. Oh, actually, you know what I'll do? Let me just put it in the... I'm going to put it in the chat here, okay? So... Oh. Hang on just a sec, guys. 2, 1, 6. Okay, make sure you text that. Text any of your artwork to me. I'd love to, again, try to post it on social media or what have you. And also just show people the amazing stuff that you guys do. All right, I have another crazy idea. and it involves, I'm going to switch out real quick. This is, hang with me guys, we're almost done here. Oops. Okay, so what I want to show you is another way you can do a version of the spin art without markers. I have finger paints. My daughter has a bunch of these finger paints that have been laying around. So I'm going to just do, I'm going to use a little bit of this color. If you're going to use anything that's thinner than like thick finger paint, please be aware that it will squirt everywhere, or like the drops will go pretty much everywhere. So yeah, be aware of that if you decide to use paint. Okay, that for some reason doesn't seem like it's going to come out. Okay, so right, so I just wanted to show you my palette. Let me go back to, okay, so here's my palette. Let's do this, guys. I'm going to use some of my orange. It's surprisingly thinner. It comes on a lot thinner than I thought. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that color. Okay. So I'm using just a sponge tip. All right. And let me get some more color in here, you guys. It doesn't look like much, but I will say it does. It feels very therapeutic, and that I think is important. Building robots shouldn't make you feel anxious. In my opinion, I think one of the reasons I enjoy doing this as an older person is that it feels very calming to me, and when I do get frustrated with things not working with my different iterations, I just walk away and find some time to clear my head, and then I come back and try to solve the problem. So, sorry I don't have darker colors, guys, but this is our finger paint spin art bot. We have different versions of, yeah, so that's it. Okay. So we do have different versions of like this kind of spinning motion, whether it's with the doodle pen or with this. We also have like an egg bot that helps you design Easter eggs. So the mechanism that we're really focusing on is this really fast motion, or spinning motion, that kind of pushes things out, whether it's paint, whether it's your marker. And so there's all sorts of applications for it. There's all sorts of fun ways that you can incorporate art. And so I would encourage you guys to play around. I will not be picking up your robots until next week. So use this time to freestyle, like capture or rebuild some of the mechanisms that I showed you in the building guide and on the YouTube channel, and see if you can come up with your own version of a spinning robot. It doesn't have to be an artwork. It can look totally different. That's kind of, it's not a homework, but it's a design challenge. I would love to see what you guys have to, what you can do when you're left to your own devices. So in any case, my friends, that's it. That was our second and last class. I do want to say that Mr. Galen and I have some other ideas for robotics. If this is an area that you're really interested in, if you want to learn more, there's all sorts of cool activities and ideas that we can share with you. And we're always, we always want to hear back from our students, because sometimes you guys are our inspiration and give us ideas on new classes. So Again, I want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you to the parents who helped make sure you were all logged into YouTube. And if you're interested in more classes, definitely let me know. And next week, I'll be reaching out to the students or the parents to arrange a time to pick up the robots. Until then, freestyle, build. Find inspiration everywhere around you, okay? All right, take care, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and hope to see you soon.